Reform aren't taking talent from the Conservatives, they're taking the leftovers, sticking a fresh label on the jar and hoping you don't notice the same rancid stew underneath. Because that's the con, isn't it? 14 years of Tory damage, then the same people wander over to Reform like they've just woken up from a 14-year coma. So that brings us to Lalia Cunningham, making an even more of a fool of herself than she normally does. Sent out to the Reform propaganda channel to big it up of the latest defection of Suella Braverman and basically do the thing that politicians do when they know they're not in trouble. Big confident slogans when nobody pushes back. However, that only works if you don't get stumped by the simplest of questions.
Is the Reform Party just becoming the Tory Party 2.0?
Oh, we can't hear you, Layla. Are you on mute? Just check your mute button.
No, it's becoming a strong, powerful Reform Party that's going to win. You know, we take everyone with talent, anyone who believes in British sovereignty, anyone who's been an advocate for leaving the ECHR, and I don't think there hasn't been a stronger advocate in the Tory Party than Suella.
And she claims they're becoming a strong and powerful Reform Party by attracting the best of the best. And who is this elite tier of political talent? Suella Braverman and Robert Jenrick. Yeah, it's the very same two MPs that Zia Youssef was slating last year. These aren't fresh faces fighting the establishment. They were the establishment. They sat at the cabinet table while decisions were being made. But here's where the wheels completely come off. Layla tries to argue that these defectors are actually beloved by the people, claiming Suella was the most popular backbencher. And when asked about Robert Jenrick, well, just look at her trying to struggle for an answer.
But what would you say there? Because a lot of people, there'll be people looking at this thinking, we hated the Conservatives, they did 14 years of damage, and now a lot of them are shifting over to Reform UK. We were trying to escape.
I mean, some might feel like that, but we are attracting the best of the best. I mean, Suella was the most popular backbencher. Jenrick, I think Robert was the most popular shadow minister. So it is a problem when their most popular people are coming to us.
Now, I don't know if GB News went off script by asking a follow-up question, but if she wasn't panicking before, you can definitely see it now. Just watch that panic set in. She doesn't cite a YouGov survey or a Redfield and Wilton poll. She says, I think I saw it on X. Twitter, basically. Her source is Twitter.
Where did you see the survey that suggested Suella Braverman was the most popular backbench Conservative MP?
I think I saw it on X.
They really do just live in an echo chamber, don't they? I mean, she does try to recover by claiming it was Conservative home, but again, she's fact-checked there on the spot as well.
I saw it, and I think it was Con Home. Are they the only ones that poll that kind of thing?
They poll the shadow cabinet, but not backbench MPs.
Well, she was quite popular.
I did see a poll on it.
Yeah, I mean, she was quite popular. I mean, I don't think that's a particularly difficult statement to accept. Suella Braverman was very popular as a backbencher. That goes.
I think it depends who you ask.
Well, within the Conservative Party, yeah, I think she was.
She came sixth in the Conservative leadership election.
Anyway, let's speak to Layla because we've got Layla here.
That was a long time ago. And listen, obviously, people, if you say something, if you have strong opinions and you say something that people actually care about, you will always be divisive.
And then, when pressed on how she can square the circle of these people being responsible for broken Britain that Reform complains about, Layla pivots to perhaps one of the worst analogies I've ever heard. She says, it's like changing jobs because you tried to steer the company, but the boss was reluctant.
I mean, it's like when you change jobs. You know, you tried to change the company or steer it in the right direction, and you couldn't. You know, the boss was reluctant, and so you switched to a company that's better at delivering what you are passionate about. And you know, the problem is I think they realise that the Conservatives are no longer a vehicle of change, and what this country desperately needs is change.
These people were in the cabinet. They were the boss. This isn't some kind of mid-level manager switching from Tesco's to Sainsbury's because the management wouldn't listen to their idea about shelving. This is the board of directors bankrupting the company and then applying for a job at the rival firm, claiming that they hold the secret to profitability. Oh, that was a bit of a mouthful. But you get my point. But the final nail in the coffin of this disastrous interview is when she's asked a hypothetical. If you could pick someone from Labour, which they really tried to push for Labour, but then decided to make Tories a part of it as well. So Labour or Tories to join Reform, who would it be? Now, a normal politician would have a list of ideological allies ready to go. Layla, well, she laughs and says that's not a fair question.
If you could pick someone from either perhaps the Labour Party or, let's say, or a Conservative to join Reform UK, who would you pick?
That's not a fair question.
If you could pick someone, though, to come on, be part of your party.
I'm gonna need some time on that, I'm afraid, Nana, to have a think.
She needs some time to think on that. She can't even name a single living politician that she actually respects enough to invite into the fold. It implies one of two things. Either she knows that there is no talent left, which is highly unlikely, but I think the real reason is that she knows that only people willing to jump ship are the ones looking for a light vote, not for a cause. So she wraps it up with a speech about how they are not in it for a prestigious badge, but for a party that serves the people. But if serving the people involves lying about polls, recycling failed ministers and getting your news from Twitter, I think the people might be better off serving themselves.